Hi folks, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley. I consider myself a Christian attorney. What does that mean? Well, what it means to me is that Jesus Christ gives me hope. He gives me something to look forward to. Obviously, I know that He died for my sins, but I don't preach. And what I say is, I don't preach. I just think about the gifts that I've been given. I had a very tough childhood. Parents divorced, violent mother, absconding father. I didn't have much. We were on welfare. We were poor. And really, through my younger years and even in my teenage years, I don't know that I believed in God. I don't really think I did. The devil... The devil's making me sneeze. I didn't really believe in Christ until my 20s. I was in Alabama, and I had friends who were Christian, who went to church on a regular basis, who went to Bible study, who did things. And I remember asking my friend James, I said, Jim, why do you believe? To me, it was just something for uneducated people or unthinking people. But then I had friends who were educated and smart and nice and good and kind. And I remember him saying to me that day, Raj, I don't know 100%, but that's where my faith comes in. But the way I think about it is, if I'm not a Christian and I'm wrong, well, I'm not going to a good place. If I follow the things that the Bible tells me and I'm right, then I'm going to a beautiful place. I'm going to a place of everlasting life. And I remember thinking, okay, well, that sounds pretty good, right? If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. If I'm wrong, I don't want to end up in hell. And if I'm right, then I'm going to this beautiful place called heaven. Well, shortly thereafter, I ended up started to going to some churches. I had a girlfriend at the time, and she was religious. Her mom, every time I was over, was always putting a Bible in front of me and saying a prayer, probably from my soul, that I wouldn't, bring bad things into her daughter's life. But she seemed genuine. She didn't push too hard, and I appreciated that. And eventually, I went to church with them, and then I went to church with other people, and then I went to church on my own, and I was really trying to find who I was in the church and whether or not I believed. And it seemed like each time I went to the church, I felt a little bit better. And I was trying to find a church because I was trying to believe. And then one day I went to this church, and I just remember the pastor saying, you might be a good person. You might be someone that would help a little old lady across the street. You may do good things. You may have a strong heart. People may like you. People may love you. But if you don't believe in Jesus and what He's done, and that He's the only Son of God, then you don't get in. You don't get to heaven. And it was, I just remembered like leaning forward that this was something important. I mean, I thought I was a good guy. I thought that I was a good person. I thought that I treated other people with respect and kindness, so I just figured if there was, I was going to get in. Shortly after that, I devoted myself. I became baptized. I said to God that I believed in Him and that I followed Him. Now, what does that mean for me as a criminal defense attorney? It certainly doesn't mean that I'm perfect. It doesn't mean that I'm judgmental. And there's a list of things, and I kind of made a list of what non-Christians maybe think of Christians, and that's that we're judgmental, overly conservative, crazy, uneducated, biased, that we never make mistakes, we're Bible thumpers. And could that be true? That there could be truth. There's no such thing as a perfect man or woman. We all try. I think that the things that they teach in the Bible, for me, what do I get the most about being a Christian is I get hope. I have hope in my future. I have hope in others. Now, do I get disappointed in life? I do. And God sort of protects me from myself. I make lots of mistakes, lots of mistakes. And I think that maybe that helps me with my clients, because my clients are good people and they make mistakes. They deserve second chances. They deserve hope in something that's bigger than themselves. I feel that God has given me a voice to help other people. And so often clients have said to me, Mr. Foley, I've spoken to 5 lawyers and they all told me, hey, my case is a loser. It's going to be a plea bargain. I'm probably going to go to prison. I'm probably going to go to jail. It's just what they can mitigate. And I tell them I just have a different thought of that. I read the police report. I speak to the person. I feel like I start to have an understanding of what makes them tick. And I use that information along with my knowledge of the law, but more importantly, my hope in life, my hope in Christ. And I pray, God, give me the strength today to help this person, because they're coming to me. They could go to a million other people. There's so many lawyers. There's lawyers that are, quicker witted than I am. There's attorneys that have more knowledge than me, more training than me, more trials than me. There are attorneys that have gone to better schools, have a better upbringing. Why me? And the only thing I can think is what clients tell me is that they've just felt compelled, to come to my office. That scares me, because it means that I have to live up to something that, I'm nervous in my own abilities at times, but I do my best to show confidence. And when I see that pinhole of light, just that drop of light in a case, I just follow it. And for 11 years now, it's worked. So what does being a Christian attorney mean to me? It means hope. It means that there's a possibility to help another person. It means that when I'm feeling down on myself, I realize and I think about the gift that I've been given. And that gift, it seems, for at least the time being, has to do with helping those charged with crimes. Now, I've had people say, "Oh, how can you do it? How can you, defend these bad people? How could you they're guilty?" Well, I don't always know that someone's guilty, and sometimes people tell me, "Hey, I did it." One of the biggest cases I ever had, the individual came to my office and told me that everything in the police report he had done, everything that was written in the police report was true, that he was absolutely guilty. And he came to my office with his father, and he handed me a Bible, and he goes, "Listen, I know I did everything. I'm telling you I did everything, but I need someone to speak for me." I remember how moved I was by that young man. I remember thinking, wow, people just don't come in and say, they don't want to, no one says, "Oh, this is my flaw. Oh, I have a mole here," or, "Hey, I'm overweight," or, people tend to kind of hide their things and always put their best foot forward. And what I've noticed is some clients have been so honest with me. They've shared so much. I don't know why. But you know what? That helped me to help that young man. Now, he's actually the only person that's ever gone to prison on my watch. But ultimately, I got him a better result than what he would have had, or what was on the table at the time. And to this day, that young man and I still keep in contact. Christianity, being a Christian criminal defense attorney, it just gives me hope, folks. That's the best way to explain it. I'm no better than anybody else. I'm not judgmental. My whole slogan is, "We don't judge, we defend." And I talk about, proving my innocence. There's people that have come to my office who were truly innocent, and I've done everything I can to prove their innocence and have succeeded. I've had to handle folks who actually committed crimes and did the wrong thing, right? They were good people who made mistakes, sort of like an onion. I always sort of generalize people as an onion. I think that there's good in everybody, but how many layers of the onion do I need to peel before I get to the good stuff, right? There's good in all of us, right? That's what God's given us. We all have the ability, but we also are all sinners. So I take my job seriously. I treat people like family. Do I get moody? Do I get annoyed? Do I get stressed? I do. It's a very tough job for me. But yet I still come back. Sometimes I've cried myself to sleep trying to figure out, why am I doing this? I mean, this is so stressful. But every time I'm in church and the Word is speaking to me, for some reason I'm always thinking about my clients and how I can be better and how I can help them. And there's something in the message when I go to church that strengthens me, that sort of re-energizes me to be better. So Christian attorney, not perfect, not the smartest, not a genius, but someone who believes in God, believes in the hope that Jesus gives me, and uses that energy and that strength to help other people in criminal defense and then make a living at it. I'm not a millionaire, like to be. So if you're a super rich client, that would be great. Come on down. But no, seriously, folks, I want to help. It's not just a paycheck to me. It's not just a job to me. It's something that I take very serious. And I think that is because I'm a Christian attorney. So that's a little bit about my thoughts about being a Christian and being a criminal defense attorney in Florida. Thanks for listening.